Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, folks in Letcher County celebrate a little bit of hope on wheels with a new van being donated to help deliver hot meals to the community. And things continue to move forward in an investigation involving former President Donald Trump.
The showers and thunderstorms gathering steam out west and south, poised to move in back in time for the weekend. Latest possibility on that coming up as Mountain News at 5:30 starts now.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. A big donation was given to one Eastern Kentucky organization today so it can better serve its community, especially as folks continue cleaning up after July's flash flooding. WYMT's Dakota Makris has the story.
This van will serve many purposes for those at Cowan Community Center and Kane Kitchen.
1, 2, 3.
The national company Ashbrit, who the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet contracted to clear flood debris from state right-of-ways and waterways, donated the van to the community center in partnership with Save the Children.
We heard about the great work of Cowan Community Center and Kane's Kitchen and the need for a van. We actually had this van parked at our office. We purchased it new a year ago for a different project. It's been sitting.
But now the van will serve on the streets of Letcher County, delivering hot meals to the community as people recover from historic flooding. The van will also be fitted to hold refrigerators, saying that is a game changer when dropping off food.
We felt rushed in conversations, that we couldn't take the time we needed to hear stories from people, which is just as important as passing out meals because the food was not refrigerated.
The van will also serve as a library for kids. The name you see on the side, Ashbrit donated 1,500 copies of a book titled Hero Helpers, calling it a passion project. The book talks about mental health challenges kids face after disasters.
The book has resources for adults and caregivers to help learn about communication tools and resources to help them support the kids in their lives.
Giving back one meal and a book at a time. In Letcher County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Ashbrit CEO tells us they will be cleaning up flood debris in eastern Kentucky for the rest of the year and into early 2023.
Well, our short dry stretch looks to be coming to an end as we head into the weekend. Clouds increasing out there tonight, and we'll continue to see that as we head through tomorrow with showers working back in. Out front right now, clouds getting a little darker out there, though we still check in at 84 here in Hazard. That's the live view from outside our front door here in Hazard. It's all quiet on Pinpoint Doppler. We were watching a couple of downpours, very far northern tip of Pulaski County, west of Mount Vernon along 150 there as you're heading from Mount Vernon up toward Crab Orchard there in Lincoln County. And that's going to continue to move off to the north and west. Yes, moving a little bit retrograde out there. And again, we'll be keeping an eye on these. These shouldn't be too big of a deal, but something we'll watch. Temperatures around the region, low to mid 80s. It is warmer. It is muggier out there, so grab the rain gear just in case if you're headed out to any of those games out there. Of course, our Appalachian Wireless game of the week, Breathitt County at Perry Central tonight, near 80 at kick. That 10% chance of rain out there, 73 at the half, and falling through the 70s as we finish things out tonight. Now, coming up, I'll have the very latest on when we could see a return to some showers and storms and when they finally move back out, coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, thank you, Evan. Today marks a key deadline in the lawsuit regarding the FBI search of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. It comes even as the Justice Department is appealing the decision to appoint a neutral third party to review the documents seized in that search. CBS's Christian Benavides reports from Miami.
The Justice Department and former President Donald Trump's legal team have until midnight to submit potential candidates to be the so-called special master to review the documents the FBI confiscated from Trump's Florida home last month.
It may be that looking for someone who enjoys the confidence of both sides at this point is looking for a unicorn.
Earlier this week, a Trump-appointed federal judge approved the former president's request to have a neutral third party sift through the seized materials.
They would also have to have a background that would allow them, I think, to have a security clearance adequate to review a good deal of this material.
But on Thursday, the Justice Department filed notice it is appealing the judge's ruling. It also asked the judge to partially stay that ruling so that investigators can continue reviewing the 103 most sensitive documents seized, including ones that were marked top secret. The Justice Department argued that the investigation and the public could be irreparably harmed by the pause. The Trump team has until Monday morning to respond to the DOJ request. Also Friday, another federal judge in Florida has dismissed former President Trump's lawsuit against a group of figures from the 2016 presidential election, including Hillary Clinton, where he claimed they conspired against his campaign. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
The judge said in the ruling that Trump's claims fail on the merits at every step of the analysis. The former president's legal team says it will appeal immediately. Lance Mackey, a four-time Iditarod champion, has died after a long battle with cancer. He was just 52 years old. Mackey won the Alaskan dog sled race in 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010. He holds the record for most consecutive wins. The legendary musher's last win was his fastest, completing the nearly 1,000-mile course in 8 days, 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 9 seconds. In a statement, Iditarod officials wrote, quote, Lance embodied the spirit of the race, the tenacity of an Alaskan musher, displayed the ultimate show of perseverance, and was loved by his fans. Our condolences go out to his family, friends, fans, and the mushing community. California Governor Gavin Newsom has declared a state of emergency for 3 counties, citing continued dangerous fire weather. The state of emergency includes Riverside County. That's where the Fairview fire has burned nearly 19,000 acres and is only 5% contained. But the emergency declaration also applies to El Dorado and Placer counties in the northern portion of the state. The Mosquito Fire in Placer County has impacted more than 6,800 acres and is 0% contained. That wildfire continues to threaten more than 1,000 homes and structures. Tropical storm Kay is drenching parts of the west coast. Kay is currently a tropical storm with winds reaching about 60 miles an hour. It's located a little more than 200 miles outside of San Diego. The most recent forecast track shows Kay weakening before it heads offshore Saturday. Officials say Southern California and parts of Arizona will still likely see heavy rain and wind. Some spots could get up to 8 inches of rain through the weekend. President Biden will give a speech Monday in Boston on his plan to find a cure for cancer. Washington News Bureau reporter Josh Roltenberg has a preview of what we can expect to hear about in the president's cancer moonshot.
On Monday, President Biden will deliver his cancer moonshot speech at the JFK Library in Boston. The White House says the president will lay out a vision for another American moonshot on the 60th anniversary of President Kennedy's moonshot speech to end cancer as we know it by doing 2 things.
First, to cut the cancer death rate in half over the next 25 years. Second, to improve the experience of people, their families and caregivers living with and surviving cancer.
The president has called on Congress to fund Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health, with a price tag of $6.5 billion over 3 years to drive biomedical breakthroughs.
Let's end cancer as we know it.
President Biden previously announced he was reigniting the White House's Cancer Moonshot Initiative. It was something he first embarked on 6 years ago when he was vice president. Biden says it's personal to him after losing his son Beau to brain cancer in 2015.
So many of you have lost someone you love. Husband, wife, son, daughter, mom, dad.
The president of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, which helps patients talk about their cancer battles, says it means everything to know President Biden is personally invested in being there for families too.
I am 100% sure that we are making incredible progress in this fight. And by having an administration and a Congress that's committed to doing what needs to be done in the public policy arena to end cancer as we know it, we will absolutely achieve that goal.
And President Biden has already created a cancer cabinet to address several issues, including helping to close the screening gap. At the White House, Josh Roltenberg, Western Mass News.
President Biden was in New Albany, Ohio earlier today. While there, he delivered remarks from the construction site and future home of the new Intel semiconductor manufacturing facility. Funding for that facility was approved through the CHIPS and Science Act.
And that means we will invent it in America and make it in America. And we're going to make sure we include all of America. We're going to support entrepreneurs and technology hubs all across the country, including historically black colleges and universities, minority-serving institutions, tribal colleges. We're going to tap into the greatest competitive advantage we have, our diverse and talented workforce that's urban, rural, and suburban.
Along with speaking about the success of passing that bill, President Biden also remarked on the need to rebuild and increase America's manufacturing capacity. He said the semiconductor facility will lead to more Made in America jobs, which will create the strongest and most equitable economic and labor market recovery in modern history following the pandemic economic crisis. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, Americans need to be more careful than ever online, with ransomware becoming more available to cyber criminals than ever.
And it's been a nice couple of days, but rain and potentially quite a bit of it is on the way back in. Full details straight ahead.